will increase in price. But before that, let's do a recap. This recap will also be in chapter 3, whiteboards. Right, chapter 3, whiteboard, recap. Okay, we talked about the government intervention previously. And government intervention, we only talk about price control. Under price control, there are two types. One is the minimum price. One is the maximum price. So what's the definition? The definition for minimum price is it is a or and something. Like what I said before. Not a choice. Government don't make choices. Is a regulation. It's a law. Yeah, it's a choice. Okay, that is imposed by the government above the equilibrium price to protect who? The minimum price to protect producers. See, later I give you another paper, then you say.
So producer supplier same thing, are they?
Yes, same. That one okay. What it means is he said consumers not right. Yeah, why?
It says progressive 15%, but this one 30%, right?
Yeah, print wrongly. I forgot to change. It's 30%. 30%. We only have 20% left. Okay, 20%. Print wrongly. The one last time. Good question. Thank you for question. So what about maximum price? Maximum price, same thing. Normally I don't change too much of my words because I cannot memorize so many definitions. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Keyword. What's keyword? What is above? What is below? What is protect producers? What is protect consumers? That's all. The rest I write myself. Don't know how to write a law, man. Do I need to remember it's a law? Don't need, ma. Right, but anyway, I will still write for you, lah. Because you're foundation kids, ma. A regulation that is imposed. Actually, it's the same thing, no? Imposed by the government below the equivalent price to protect the consumers. That's all. Right? Make sense? Make sense? Right, example. These are the two definitions that I asked you to do research. I don't know whether you do research or not. Right. But you should do it yourself. Right? Consumers. Next one. There are diagrams. I don't have so much time. I draw very fast. Right? So PQ for minimum price, it should be on top or below? On top or below? GG already.
Price low. Right? It's opposite.
Yeah, so it's on top. So this is QS, this is QD. For maximum price, maximum price should be below. Right? And this is QD, and this is QS. This is maximum price. Right? Of course, I need to put some product name. Okay? For example, in here, veggie. In here, what's the need for you? In Malaysia, we have a cooking oil.
Palm oil.
Cooking oil, for example, right? It's a need to cook. Unless you eat everything without oil, that's another story. Okay, another type of lifestyle we don't want to talk about. Okay. Next one is what? Effects. Direct. Okay, what's the direct effect? This one is QS greater than QD. For this one is QD greater than QS. Make sense? Next one is indirect effect. Indirect effect is what? Oh, forgot to write reason first. Reason why you want to protect. One is based on moral grounds. Another one is based on necessities. Right? Okay, let me move this one a little bit below. Make it a little bit neat, although it's not neat anyway. Next one. Indirect. What's the indirect? Surplus, there's what? Lazy. Lack incentive to innovate. Following your planned economy, right? Or second one is very important. Underground market. What about the another one? For maximum price, it is long queue and underground market as well, right? And same for the rice, the rice scenario, right, in your question, right? Hey, you don't think rice don't have underground market, no? Rice also have underground market. Do you see the do you see the fake rice before?
Big rice?
Fake rice
Big rice.
in I don't know if it's true or not lah. You're gonna check the source up, right? Fake rice in China or Vietnam, right? It's actually the plastic. Actually, it's plastic, no? This is the fake rice. Don't need to change the so what I mean that underground market doesn't mean that you must realize that you discover it. Doesn't mean that you must realize or discover it yourself. It can also be really fake. Like new phones are slowly make into strings. This string will slowly make into cut into rice. Look at look at how many rice. Rice. See or not? And the good thing about pasta is what? When you feel it, it will still be softer. So you won't feel anything.
Chinese, you can get it by smart.
So it means that even rice have underground market. I say no phones. They one keep on looking at phones. Yo, so focused. What looking at? Looking at menu. Ayo! I'm so touched. Looking at menu. I say no phone 2 times already to you. Also never noticed. I say no one. This is my second time. No, not first time. No. Ayo. Ayo, got lang lawyer. Ayo. Oh, you're so pretty. The girl so pretty. How to focus? I also cannot focus. Maybe I need to take off my shirt, is it? So that you focus, is it? Aiyo. Aiyo, I sound like Uncle Roger, cannot. Right, okay. Don't want to sound so much like English. Already say second time also cannot focus. Aye. Ask you to look at fake rice. You look at all these fake boobs. Headache, I mean. Okay, anyway, let's continue. Oh, by the way, that one is maybe you have underground market also. Because you want to do the plastic surgery, but cannot afford, too expensive, so you're going to do the illegal one. Yeah. Okay, and the solution, faster. Ayo, 11:48. You lah, ask me to talk about pretty girls. Oh, your fun. So the solution, but the solution is no longer is for the solution for the moral grounds and solution for necessities. The solution is for the direct effect. Solution for direct effect is in here. We should, because there are shortage no, there are surplus in here. Aiya, hang already. You see, even my OneNote also hang because too many pretty girls. Hang already. Wait. Let me reboot my OneNote. for a while, right? So if there's a surplus, I need to take off my shirt to seduce you really seriously, right? Okay, will you subscribe to my OnlyFans? So solution for direct this one is surplus we should decrease demand or increase demand or decrease supply, right? Increase demand, let's say we have to like do advertising lah, we have to buy up the surplus lah, right? And we have to decrease supplies. Decrease supply, what you need to do? How do we decrease the supply? We do the quota system. In here, right? If you want to decrease the demand, right, or increase supply, right, depends on whether you want to talk about demand or supply. This one is shortage. So how do we decrease demand? I encourage you to, right, consume substitutes. Right? Encourage you to consume the substitutes, right? And increase supply. How can we increase supply? How can we increase supply, ladies and gentlemen? We can give subsidies law. We can directly increase the output law and so on. All right, this is the summary. I don't have so much time to cover again. Let's move on to tax. Right, this is tax, by the way. Tax is like that. According to your parents, okay, tax is like a zombie. Everyone try to run away when they see zombie, right?
I can fix it.
You can fix it.
Okay, I can fix it.
You can fix it using what? Plastic books. Anyway, so tax. Everyone try to avoid me. Why? But actually, tax is not supposed to be like that. Here is why, and this is what the government asked me to tell you. Not I want to tell you.
Oh, good.
The government say because tax is very important for the economy. Government say what? Not I say. Okay. It suddenly sounds like a bit patient. Okay. So government say they need to use tax to influence production and price of commodities, right? And then tax is very important for them to raise government revenue and to distribute income from the rich to poor. This is the nonsense of so many nonsense. This is the worst thing, right? Worst thing. I told you, right? Why Elon Musk earn so much money?
It's taxes. Because he was poor, government gave him.
Why Elon Musk is the richest one? Why you need to catch the rich, right? Why Elon Musk become so rich?
Oh yeah, you told us.
Why Elon Musk become so rich? I told you before. Why?
You what tax?
Not white tax. Smart. He's smart. He's brave. Skills. Experience. And others, right? But why do you tax people that have skills? That's hardworking. They're smart. Shouldn't you tax those not hardworking one and not smart one? And so on, right? So it's actually nonsense. And they subsidize. Who they subsidize? They subsidize the people, the poor people, they say. But they subsidize how much? 200 ringgit for your e-wallet, that's all. 200 ringgit, what you can buy? Buy hard disk so that you can download more movies Nonsense, right? So this is the problem. So actually there's nonsense, but the government says they are good. Tax are good, okay? Remember, when I ask you what is tax, they are a very good thing. Don't write bad about government, alright? It's okay because we are still in a mixed economy, but actually I feel that we are in a planned economy, right? And they say it's used to encourage or discuss certain activities, right? Why they want to stop us from smoking? Why they want to stop us from alcohol consumption? These are our rights, right? I told before, right? My grandmother smoked until 90 years old, still smoking. Don't have lung cancer also. So who are them to determine what's wrong and right? Why they can simply tax? They think that not right, so they tax you. Nonsense, right? Okay, all these are nonsense, but we just follow. According to Adam Smith, right? Adam Smith, who is Adam Smith? Do you know who is Adam Smith? If you're wondering why someone is looking at the phone right now while pretending to look at the book, that's because of Adam Smith's fault. Right? Right? If you're wondering why someone is sleeping in the class, that's because of Adam Smith's fault. Adam Smith is the great godfather of economics. He is the one that invented economics. So if you're wondering why you are stuck here, have to memorize all these definitions, is his fault. Okay? So his grave, if you want to do something to him, his grave is now in UK. Feel free. Okay? So according to Adam Smith, government can do tax, no problem, but they must fulfill these 4 canons of taxation. First one is equitable. Rich people must pay more. This is also nonsense, I already told you. Second, right, it must be economical, which means if you set up the government tax department to collect tax, the revenue you get must be more than the expenses that you pay to the government staff. Otherwise, it will be useless, right? Third thing, must be transparent, right? The citizens must know where the government where the government use their tax. For example, if they tax cigarettes, they must use the tax for anti-smoking campaign. You must know why they tax, right? Number 4, it must be convenient. The citizens must be able to pay in post office and here, pay in online and so on. Must be able to pay in everywhere, right? Unfortunately for your country can only do convenient. The rest they cannot do, but they still charge us tax, right? Okay, yeah. The country don't tax the rich. Your country, the departments is more than the US country. Who said they're transparent?
They're transparent when it comes to corruption.
When it comes, what they use for? How they use the tax for? They use it to buy luxury bags. Your Esperanto hippopotamus.
Rose's pink diamond.
What do you know? They buy a condo. She buy a condo and to hang the handbags.
Yeah.
Because they use your tax to buy a condo and hang your handbags. They hang their handbags, right? So they are not transparent. By right, this country should not charge or impose tax because we don't know where they use that tax, right? And they never follow Adam Smith, right? Nonsense, right? But anyway, they say tax is good, so just follow, right? And same for effects. Tax also have direct and indirect, right? But we are only focused on indirect tax because direct tax is harder. Okay, you still need to know what's direct and what's indirect. Direct means the tax is directly paid to the government. Does it make sense? Okay, let's give you the example or my illustration, not example. Let's say this is you, and this is the government. No, government always have the flag, right? Government, okay, put the flag there. And this is my country, right? My country, Japan. Yeah, okay. I always wonder why I can't stay in Japan. When during primary school, the government asked me to draw the flag and I have to color and draw the stripes and color and draw the stripes and erase and color again until my page also got torn off because of the 14 stripes and 14 angles of stars. I hate that I'm a Malaysian. I wish that I'm a Japan. Japanese, why? 150 cents, settle everything. Seriously, just color, red color, that's all. So yeah, this is the government. So what is direct? Direct means what? Yeah, I always wish, hey, why I don't know? I really hate that 14 angle stars especially, seriously. 14, is it 14? Yeah, it's killing me. Anyway, okay, anyway, so this is direct, make sense? You pay tax to the government department straight, right? And what is indirect? Indirect is like that, Indirect is like that. This is still you, but you go through one middleman. And this middleman is normally a business, right? And then only you pay to the government, right? Middleman means what? It's like the cinema. If you go to cinema, you pay tax. You don't know, right? You buy Coke, right? You pay to supermarket. Supermarket help you to collect the tax first. You go to eat in restaurants, they collect the tax, but the restaurant collect the tax first. Then after 1 week, 1 month, depends on the government policy, or 1 year, they pay all to the government. So they require another party. This is indirect tax. This is what we're going to focus on, which is indirect tax. Indirect tax is known as the intermediary will actually collect the tax first, right? And because of that, they can pass the tax to the consumers later on. This is what we're going to cover today. They will pass the tax to the consumers, right? Because they can collect the tax, they can adjust accordingly the price, right? So some argue that direct tax cannot be shifted, but indirect tax can be shifted. Direct tax cannot be shifted. Why? Because income tax, for example, is linked to an IC. Linked to an IC, ma. So it's still under your name, ma. If you never pay, your IC name will appear. Then you cannot go out of the country. This is your direct tax. Indirect can be avoided. Why? If I don't want to pay for the cinema tickets, I don't want to pay the tax. What did I do? Ask my friends to go and pay lah. Then they will be the paying.
Yeah.
Ask my parents to pay lah. Then my parents pay lah. So they pay the ticket together with the tax lah. Then I don't want to pay them back. That's all. Makes sense. So it can be shifted. So this indirect tax make sense? Make sense? Make sense? Okay. So under indirect tax, there are also two types. One is ad valorem. Ad valorem is percentage form, which means VAT is like UK, VAT, value added tax, GST. Malaysia used to have, but now it's Australian New Zealand still using GST. Malaysia going to go back to GST very soon. And Malaysia SST, yeah, Malaysia very free one. GST, SST, GST, SST already change, then don't need to do work already. Just changing policy, right? Okay. So for example, value added tax, VAT, is so that you don't use the car because car emits pollution. Car emits pollution, right? And specific tax, this is what we focus on. Throughout the entire half hour later and until next class, which is in your YouTube, we will be focusing on indirect tax, but under indirect tax, we will be focusing on specific tax only because this is the easiest. And the diagram is easiest. But for you, it will be hard anyway. So, so it will be duties on output. We charge, don't based on percentage. This type of tax charge based on per unit. For example, per packet of cigarettes, per liter of petrol, right? Makes sense. Per packet of sugar. This is what we charge per unit, per kilo. Makes sense. It's not percentage, huh? Okay, percentage is harder than specific, right? So per liter per packet, for example, they charge road tax. They are known as vehicle excise duty. This one is paid once every 6 or 12 months, same like Malaysia, so that you don't buy the car. One is you don't use, one is you don't buy. Okay, percentage is normally so that you don't use so much, right? Specific normally so that you don't buy at all. Okay, something like that. But we already gone through when there's a tax, right? Supply will decrease, right? In chapter 2. When there's a tax, supply will decrease. But we haven't talked about where is the tax. So today we're going to talk about where is the tax. Please draw this in your work page. Page 87. Right? This is where's the tax. The tax for indirect specific tax. Take note of this tax is for indirect specific tax. Is always the vertical distance between two supply curves. When I say vertical distance, ladies and gentlemen, when you draw, you have to draw the text also. Hang on, right? Let me just snip this into my whiteboard. When you draw the text, right? Don't draw like that. This is wrong if you draw like that. Okay? Don't draw like that. This is also wrong. I want vertical distance between the two supply curve. Make sense? When you do the double head arrow, must draw vertical distance. Okay? Done? Why vertical distance? Why I cannot draw slanted?
Price increase.
Because of no. Very close up, but they always increase price regardless of how you draw. But why you must draw the right angle like that? Why? It must be like if you draw a horizontal line, it must be a right angle. Okay? Why? Because of what you like the most or hate the most? Pythagoras theorem. Sure. Okay? Pythagoras, do you remember Pythagoras? The most famous maths theory. Because of Pythagoras theorem. Why? Because I want the distance is, for example, I want 4. I don't want 3 and 5. Does it make sense? 3, 4, 5, the Pythagoras theorem. Or you don't like 5, 12, 13, no? What is Pythagoras theorem? Which I found it as useless. I don't know why I need to learn that. You know how I apply Pythagoras theorem in my real life? The only way I can use it is when I cross the road. I don't cross like that. I cross slanted so that I can save the distance. This is the only way I use Pythagoras theorem. At least I apply it. I don't know whether you apply or not. Right? Okay. Because of that, I want number 4. I don't want 3 and 5. So when you draw arrow, same thing. Draw vertically. Don't draw suddenly like that, horizontal, suddenly slanted. Okay? Make sense? This is what I want. Okay? Make sense? Confirm? But this is too easy. I will not ask you this question. What I want is like that. Later you will draw this. Don't worry. It will be next. But before we go to that, right? Let's say this is your text right now. Following what I just shared with you, vertical distance, or maybe you should write down, right? Everyone write down. Text is vertical distance between 2 supply curve. The text amount, it should be vertical distance. This is not a definition. Vertical distance between 2 supply curve. Okay. First thing you must know, tax only is affecting supply. I told you already in chapter 2. In foundation, tax always shift the supply curve in foundation. Regardless is we are talking about consumer tax, we are talking about GST, SST, right? We are talking about supplying tax, still shift supply curve. Don't go and overthink. Don't go and draw demand shift. Don't say because tax increase, so I will demand lesser. No, just shift the supply curve, right? Second thing, following this sentence, right? In here, what is the tax amount? What's the tax amount? You say 30 cents, you? 20? Joel? 50. So same class, 3 answers. I have 20 cents, 30 cents, and 50 cents. Which one is right? The correct answer should be 50 cents. How do I get 50 cents? I said just now what? Vertical distance between 2 supply curve. Where is the vertical distance? This is how we get the vertical distance. We normally take the new equilibrium, then we draw the vertical line. Okay, because new equilibrium, we already had a price normally. Then I will give you another price, this one. Then you have to count the vertical distance. Okay, a lot of students will write 30 cents because they thought it's vertical distance between 2 equilibrium, which is wrong. It's vertical distance between 2 supply curve, not 2 equilibrium price. Does it make sense? Yes. So this is 50 cents. All right. First thing, do you get me? Do I make you understand so far? Yeah. Yes. Second thing, if the tax is 50 cents, right? Why the new equilibrium price only increased by 30 cents? This is the new one, right? This is the old one, right? This is old, right? PE is old, right? 4 ringgit is old. The new one is PE1. Why, if the tax is 50 cents, why the price equilibrium only increased by 30 cents? Why? Why is that, Pastor?
I look out.
I see. Okay, let me snip. Let me snip this. What I mean here is, I put in my whiteboard also for you. Right. Okay. So now we already established, right? We already established the same thing, which is everyone feel the same, right? The tax amount is now equals to 50 cents because it's equals to 4 ringgit 30 cents minus 3 ringgit and 80 cents, right? But why, when the PE increases, right? PE increase because the tax supply decrease, PE increase increase from PE to PE1 is only increased by 30 cents instead of 50 cents. Why? Why? My question is, why not 50 cents? What's the reason? Any idea? Singy? Any idea? No idea. Because of incidence of tax or tax burden. The producer, they don't dare to pass 50 cents to the consumers. They're scared that you don't buy the products. That's why they say indirect tax can be shifted. Makes sense. They are afraid that if they pass all the tax to the consumers, consumers will not buy their products because the price will increase by a lot. So they will choose to absorb partial of the tax. And this can be seen in this diagram. In this diagram, the producer decided to absorb 20 cents between the OPE and the producer's salary receipt, right? Makes sense.
Yes.
So the producer choose to absorb 20 cents and then pass the 30 cents to the consumers. That's why the equivalent price only increased by 30 cents. This is known as, write down, this is known as the incidence or tax incidence. Incidence of tax. Or tax incidence for textbooks. Or tax burden. Okay. This is what? This is a situation where the producer pass partial of the tax to the consumers. Make sense? This is the tax burden, or is it? So it depends on the test paper. Sometimes we use incidence of tax, sometimes we use tax incidence, sometimes we use tax burden. All of them should be the same. Okay? Just like last time, the planned economy is socialism. Some people only remember socialism and put a question mark on top of planned economy. Is socialism planned economy? Put a socialism question mark. I also don't know. Never study all the terms. Okay? Make sense? Done, It's also written inside another definition inside your PowerPoint anyway, right? Actually, division of the burden of tax between buyers and sellers in the market. So because the sellers actually pass partial of the tax to the consumers. Make sense? Make sense? Okay. So after that, right, can you just draw this inside your text? Oh, I teach you how to draw. For the first one, in the page 88, right? Sorry, that's not right. For page, everyone, follow me, page 88. I will show you how to draw the incidence of tax. One time only, See properly, zoom in. First of all, P and Q. right? Then put some product name that normally will be text. So for example, I will text someone that when their hand is on their phone, hand on phone, I'll text him, right? Okay, hand touching the phone, I'll text them, right? For example, so I want to text this because they cause disruption and inefficiency in my country, right? In the government scenario. So I just draw one demand and one supply like that. Then first of all, I draw my equivalent price and equivalent quantity. Can you follow so far? So far can follow? Second thing I say what? Just like I say tax should shift demand or supply curve. Tax should shift demand or supply curve. Supply or supplier. This one make it black color for you. So supply curve should shift left or right when there's a tax. So I shift the left supply curve. Make sense? Supply shift the left. Then I draw the dotted line. Yeah, this is arrow. Right?
No, not straight.
No, I'm not showing the text. I'm showing the shift.
Oh, okay.
If it's a word, if I want to show the text, I would show double head arrow. Remember double head arrow just now, right? This is just shift, supply shift to the left, and I put a PE1 here, and then QE will decrease to QE1. So far, okay? Make sense? Make sense?
Yes.
So where is the tax burden? The next thing is the tax burden, right? Just now where do I draw my dotted line? My new dotted line, where I draw? I draw it at PE1, Q1 there. Where I draw? The new equilibrium, I draw dotted line. Okay? Which is black pink. I don't know if you all notice or not. Black pink. Okay? Black pink, black pink. Can black pink? You know what's black pink? Then in the last dotted line, last horizontal dotted line, I draw in the old supply curve. I touch the purple color there. Old supply curve like that. Make sense? So far? Okay, can or not? Can or not? Can? So the top box, the one that the top box that touch the, you see there's now two boxes.
Yes.
The first box on top, they will touch the demand curve in the new equilibrium. The one that touch demand curve is known as the consumer burden. It's the one that we pass to the consumers. So I shade this, and then I label this as consumer burden. Right? The one below, right? The one below, the box below is, I use another shade. The one below is known as the producer burden. This shows the area that the producer have to absorb. Make sense? Consumer burden plus producer burden together, this is the total tax revenue collected by the government. Does that make sense? Producer plus consumer is the total tax revenue. Let's say I ask you, calculate the total tax revenue. It's very easy. It's just use P1 minus the price below PE. Now it's unavailable, right? Then it's always the rectangle formula. Do you know rectangle formula? Rectangle formula. What's the rectangle formula? What is the rectangle area formula?
Oh, half time base time.
Yeah.
It's half.
That's triangle.
That's triangle, right?
Oh, rectangle. Base times height.
I want to GG already. What's your math lecture again?
Base.
Nifty.
Base.
Oh my god, so sad.
I only know your name.
You remember my name?
Yeah, Natheinz.
Natheinz. Change my name. Why you remember? Okay, anyway, it's just a rectangle formula. If you cannot remember, okay? If you cannot remember, just rectangle formula, area formula, which is length times Length and height got height one.
Wait, like,
Height is 3D, right? Length times
this times height times width.
that one. Yeah. So what's the formula? Length times width. Length times width. Make sense? Okay. So if I ask you calculate consumer burden, you need to find only the between PE and PE1, the difference times the quantity, the equivalent quantity. Okay. If I ask you calculate the producer burden, I will also give you one price below the PE. So you find the difference times the quantity. The quantity you times is the new QE, not the old QE. If I ask you total tax revenue, PE1 minus the one price below the PE, which is now unknown, times QE1. This is the rectangle formula only. I don't even bother to write it out. Make sense? Do you want me to write down? Need? Okay. I read. Right. Okay. So just now, what I say what? If I ask you to count consumer burden, it will be PE1 minus PE bracket times QE1. Right? If I ask you the producer burden, this one is calculation. Calculation normally is in short. So let's say this is P2. It will be PE1, PE minus P2 times QE1. Make sense? If I ask you the total tax revenue, it will be PE1 minus P2. Notice P2 is not equivalent price, so I never use PE2, right? Times QE1. Okay? Makes sense. So this is how we calculate the total tax revenue. Okay, and how much is absorbed by the producer and how much absorbed by the consumers. Any question? For example, let me ask you, in here, right? What is the consumer burden? Simply, I simply ask, what's the consumer burden, right, in here? 30 cents times 40, how much? I'll bring you away. So you press copy. No. You press. Maybe I count wrongly. Okay. Consumer burden is 12 ringgit. If you know how to count, it's 30 cents times 12. Times 40. So you get 12. Make sense? If I ask you producer burden, what's the producer burden? 20 cents times 40, which is 8. All right. If I ask you total tax burden or total tax revenue, 50 cents times 40, or you add up just now the two you calculated. 8 plus 12 is 20. Make sense? Can This is just calculation. Okay. And hence the introduction of tax incidence. Okay. Just already told you that actually all this stuff is known as incidence of tax or tax incidence or tax burden. It's just a division. We want to analyze who absorb more tax. Who absorb more tax? Right? Who absorb more tax is based on elasticity. That's why if you are not doing very well in elasticity chapter 2.1, you will be facing a lot of problem and trouble in chapter 3. So go back, right, later. Remember, go and do some recap on the elasticity before you watch my recording on that incidence. Make sense?
Yes.
Before I move, and all this, because this one will take another 1 hour. Okay, so I will end early a little bit today.
Yeah.
And then remember, next Tuesday, there's no class. The recording, unfortunately, this recording will be the most important recording for you. So better watch it. I will look at the statistics. Just like last time. Okay.
Okay. It has to be. Okay.
Don't think I cannot monitor. Okay.
What's your
Okay, make sense? I'll look at statistics. So there will be 1 hour on tax, maybe 1 hour on subsidies. Right. Next class. Next class is Tuesday class. It'll be very, very complicated. Better replay the recording few times. Right? I haven't given you homework.
No, don't do it.
Homework assigned prior to the lecture because you know lah. If I is in the recording, you will say I never mentioned. So I will assign the homework. The homework being all the total 3 questions. Some already did, right? Previously, I used what color? Orange, huh? Today I'm going to use pink color. Question 1, everything. Question 2, question 3, ask you 8 questions. Section C, question, then question 2. And for section C, question 1, right? I want now another method that can keep the price low, which is subsidies. This one will be covered in the YouTube. First method is price ceiling. Now I want you to write second method, extend the essay into subsidies, right? And question 2 as well. Do you want more?
No thanks.
Do lah. Case study 1. Although I don't like this name, but never mind, I don't want. Because I don't like this prime minister, so don't do this homework. Case study 1 don't need to do. Okay, that's all. Okay, because the elasticity and PED, PES for tax is very hard. So I don't want to like rush you up. What page? What page? What's the total free price? Page 95. Everything after 95.